Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, onXRP community. This is the onXRP podcast, and I'm your host, Lee. Today, we've got Monkee Monkee on. So, over to you. How are you today?
Hey, how's it guys? Thanks for being inviting us on the show. All's good this side. Yeah, I'm busy.
Lovely. Well, firstly, thank you for coming on. And so let's start with, tell us a little bit about you. Let's find out a little bit about the person behind Monkee Monkee. So let's talk about your start of crypto and that kind of story. Let's start at the very beginning and we'll work our way up
Cool,
to where we are now.
amazing. Me and my brother have been in the crypto space since 2013. He introduced me to the space, and yeah, I have to press kind of history. We've kind of been building out a few projects over the years, individually and together. We were actually building out projects way back on the Bitcoin network with the Counterparty NFT projects on there. So like real old school stuff there. Um, uh, Moved on a bit forward to ETH and 720, 721, EOC 721. And as time progressed, my brother kind of left one of his founding projects, and me and him just kind of been doing things by ourselves for the last couple of years. And we've also been in game development, the two of us. So over the last year or so, I was dabbling on a bit of the Solana network, and kind of patiently waiting for XRP to finally get NFT access, or even like a hint of NFTs becoming on XRP Ledger. So my brother, like he found out first, and he's actually in the space as well, and he's like, "Hey, dude, like it's happening." And that's when I kind of jumped in the bandwagon. I was like, "Yes, it's finally my time to shine." Um, yeah, so that's all history of me personally. There's two other members in the Monkee Monkee project, but I let them kind of peep through now and then on themselves. But all three of us kind of manage and control the Monkee Moto pseudonym or persona.
Okay, great. Oh, thank you for that. So let's go. So you told us a little bit about your history. So basically, you're like the old guards of crypto if you've been in it since 2013, right? And you've been in
Yeah,
part of
real
and
OG
created,
stuff.
yeah, proper OGs within the space. And it's good to get and speak to proper OGs within the space because there's not a lot of you around. So honestly, you guys are like a rarity. So let's talk about the market back in 2013. Obviously, you started operating within it or investing or creating projects back in 2013. The market has
Yeah,
changed an awful lot since then. Kind of, how
jeez,
did it
dude.
feel? How did it feel back in 2013? Did it kind of feel like you was operating like on the dark web, as to speak? Is that the kind of feel it was?
Yeah, it was yeah, the Wild West. Like it still kind of feels in some regards Wild West around here, but so the first introduction actually was Monero, and we were mining Monero back then. And the best part is like we started mining XMR and didn't think too much of it back then. It was like cool, just trying to get into the space, see how it goes, and I kind of lost access to that wallet. So there's a good couple of um, funds just there that makes you cry to this day. But um, everyone has one of those horror stories in crypto where you've lost your access to a good chunk of money. Yeah, so the landscape was very weird back then. Even with Bitcoin, like there wasn't many exchanges that's there are today, and like more secure exchanges like Binance and so forth. But um, I mean, the space has both matured and somewhat been a bit immature at times. But that's the nature of like the crypto market. Like, uh, yeah, it's been been an adventure, shall I say, to say the least.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for filling this in. Wow. Right. So now let's get on to Monkee Monkee. Why Monkee Monkee?
Yeah.
And for now and after. So talk to me, Monkee Monkee. Why?
So at first we were kind of looking into creating something similar to the Solana Monkey Business project. Right as you started off, but obviously not like a copy paste of the art or anything. It was the designs of Monkee Monkee were always going to be what we have today. But as time progressed, it just didn't feel right for us, and it was kind of just a fun play on things where people would just kind of scream Monkee Monkee, which our community kind of does that on a regular basis now. So it's more of a cutesy, fun project, not like too serious in the regards of like we're a big corporate company, we do all this cool stuff, but a fun, playful project that does things professionally. So yeah, Monkee Monkee was just the basis of creating a cool, fun game on the XRP ledger, kind of taking away any bad vibes or corporate persona of things, and just trying to put a fun spin on things and laugh. Really, that's what we kind of do. We kind of enjoy just monkeying around.
How many times have you used that?
Not many, to be fair.
I love it. It fitted in quite nicely. So, right. So, Monkee Monkee. Right. So,
Yeah.
what is the long-term play for Monkee Monkee, and what's the utility and the reason of the NFTs? So, talk to me about that.
Sweet. So Monkee Monkee started off as just a normal collection of these adorable monkeys that we have. But as it progressed, we it didn't sit right just to making a collection. So we, like my brother would say the same thing, and like he's kind of an advisor for me. But it's always been, how can we add more? How can we do more for the community? In the sense of adding utility to this thing. We don't want it just to be a picture that you kind of use a profile picture, and that's kind of it. So one of our members in Monkee Monkee is used to work at Reebok and the apparel side of things. So they were very keen to get this more as a clothing and apparel brand. And then myself as the game developer was like, we can definitely turn this into a real fun game, not just for the XRP community, not for the crypto community, but like the world at large. So the main goal for us is to make a NFT project game, should we say, that is accessible to anyone in the world. Just the NFTs have extra perks and benefits, but doesn't completely change or pay to win mechanics, should we say. It just gives you a little bit of extra benefits and adds another layer of enjoyment upon the entire game. So Monkee Monkee is a collection of 10,000 adorable little monkeys. They're looking to find their way back home. The legend goes is that the great imbalance in the world shook the tree of life, which is home to the monkeys, causing them to fall down to earth. And that's where the game comes in. You go on an amazing journey to help the monkeys find their way back home. You'll meet new friends, battle foes, and eat lots of bananas along the way. Each monkey has their own traits and abilities. So depending on which trait you get from the NFTs themselves, they will give you and enable you special abilities, special powers, or perks within the game, which we'll probably see in the demo that we're going to be releasing at the end of the month.
Did you say you're releasing the game at the end of the month?
Just a demo, a very small demo, just to kind of give everyone a kind of feel for what we're trying to build, get some feedback, what they like, don't like, just so we can keep iterating and building with the community. Instead of just us building an entire game, be like, yep, here's the whole thing, enjoy it. But rather, what do you guys like, what you don't like, how can we improve this, what would you like to see in here? And one of our biggest core aspects is community inclusion. So that's one part. And also other projects that we can like kind of wove in the story as well. Is one of our big aspects. We love including people and kind of taking everyone along for this whole journey.
Absolutely. So, in terms of a roadmap for you to have a production ready game, what's that kind of
Yeah.
looking like from a timescale point of view?
So currently, our team is very small. So the first phase is to just get the demo done by the end of this month. Work on feedback from the community and what people like. Then we can sit down properly and have the full scope of what we're trying to produce with the budget we have and the team we have currently. Obviously, with the minting of NFTs, we'll probably raise a little bit of capital from that, and that will allow us to expand, obviously, speed up the whole production. But the goal, the first prize is to have things done by the end of the year, the full game release on iOS, Android, also on desktop for those that want to play on desktop. That's full integration of the XRP Ledger token, so you can kind of scan your wallet probably through Zum, and it'll read the metadata from those NFTs and then kind of display those monkeys that you can use within the game. And the game is going to be very difficult, just so you guys know. Like, this is not going to be an easy peasy kind of game. Think of like, we're going to make things challenging but enjoyable.
No, I always like those challenging games, right? So let's
Definitely.
talk about you alluded to that you've got, like, let's say, a gaming development background.
Yeah, that's
How
correct.
long how long have you been doing that for? And obviously you can't it'll give away the game really in terms of your
Yeah.
who you are. But can you give us an idea of the feel for what type of games are passionate to you and what kind of games you play yourself?
Sure. So I've been developing games since, okay, well, professionally, like as in a job, it's been from 2015. But I've since left corporate world and on my own now. Kind of games I enjoy playing, mainly RPGs. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan. Square Enix is the best game development studio in the world, in my opinion, and I praise them to high heavens. So yeah, I'm very much an RPG kind of guy. I do also enjoy the classic games like Hollow Knight. It's also side-scroller kind of games, which is the inspiration for Monkee Monkee, which is awesome. That's a really good storytelling game, which is kind of like the cool things that I love about games. And Wild Final Fantasy is a big thing for me because the story really captivates you and brings emotions out uh, from the players. It's always, yeah, that's just always been a good capturing factor for me.
No, absolutely. And is it something? Do you play games on a regular basis, or is this? Do you play them daily, or just because you're busy now, you don't get to do that as much
Yeah,
as you would like?
yeah, that's the thing. Like in the last couple of years, I mean, I've always been an avid gamer. I didn't really do my schoolwork, should I say? It was mainly just games. Um, so it all works out in the end for me because I'm making them. But yeah, as of like the last, I would say 4 years, I haven't been able to really dive deep into a game. I think I've probably finished one game in the last 4 years, like a really like long, good one. Um, I still love playing them. I just don't have the time. And like Monkee Monkey is really keeping me on my paws, should I say? It's been a wild adventure.
No, that's great. Right, quick question then,
Yeah,
because I've always been crypto's going to move into the gaming industry in a big way
for
over the
sure.
forthcoming years. It's inevitable, right? So,
Yeah.
one of the key things is the moving of value across games, which I think
Hmm.
will bring real value to the
Yeah.
user. How do you think? So, my example would be like, let's say my son plays Fortnite, okay, and
Hmm.
he buys a lot of skins and stuff like that, right? But then that's that dead asset within that game, right? But then he then goes and
Exactly.
plays FIFA, and then he wants FIFA points. So when they truly work out how to kind of have, like, let's say, a marketplace for items,
Yeah.
how do you see that kind of working and functioning, and how long do you think it will take for the games like on Xbox and PlayStation to really kind of start adopting it?
Well, I mean, again, I've been around for quite a while, and I'm still waiting. It's the thing is, I don't think anyone is, what should I say, in the game dev scene. It's actually quite funny. Like a lot of game devs I know and speak to from around the world are actually quite anti-crypto still. I don't, yeah, it's kind of weird. I kind of think they would be the most open to it, since you can actually own these assets and transfer at your free will. But I think they're still not 100%, I want to say educated, but like not informed well enough as to what the benefit is. And I do believe that the shift will change. Once one of these big studios actually implements it, there will be a shift. Ubisoft has actually already been looking into and hiring blockchain developers and looking into the whole scene. I know there are quite a few games that actually have blockchain characteristics inside them. So I think it's just a slow, little baby steps for them. Again, I've never been a big fan of ETH, even though I've dev'd and helped produce things on there. But that shit is too slow, too expensive, and that's not going to work. That's why I've patiently been waiting for XRP to finally bless us with this opportunity. But a marketplace, I believe that having a decentralized marketplace that allows any game development studio to create assets that they want. Let's just say like FIFA has different kind of soccer balls, for example, or footballs. And that should be able to be fully owned by the gamer, the end user. And if, for example, let's say, I'll use Final Fantasy, it's a completely different genre entirely, and they want to allow that soccer ball to be used in their game for whatever, it could be a cosmetic thing, it could be an ability, whatever it may be. The studios only need to have access to the metadata, which is obviously freely accessible, and there should be no rights or claims to it for the ecosystem to have full interoperability between everyone to enjoy assets. And if you want to include assets in someone else's game, you should have free rights to. I think that will create a freaking tectonic shift in this entire market, which going to spark creativity from everyone. Think of like Ready Player One, the movie. The fact that you can see like Halo characters inside there. There was the Iron Giant, which is a movie, giving people access and the ability to use all these kind of different assets from all the different RPs. As long as you own the token, that studio should be able to create those assets within their game within fair use. I think I babbled on about and marketplaces should just be fully decentralized DEX that allows people to trade these assets. No OpenSea authority kind of blocks you from hosting assets or remove you because they don't like you, kind of thing. That's what I say, like the space has matured and also been a bit immature in a lot of regards, but we'll get there. Like I have faith that this is going to shift and it's going to be a freaking awesome time.
Absolutely. It's like we can almost see into the future. We know what's
100%.
needed. We know how and non-fungible tokens are going to play their part within this as well. We know how the marketplace is going to look and feel, but no one's really moved heavy on this so far from a big corporate gaming world side of things, from a high-end implementation side of things. But I really do feel that they're setting the game up and the foundation
100%.
for it. So it's almost like it's a gradual process for the user or the gamer, as to speak.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't want to just flick the switch and they go over. They're just going to do it gradually.
There's going to be a couple of studios that will probably like slowly start introducing these things. And honestly, I think they're going to do the approach where they don't even tell the user this is like an actual NFT. They're going to be like, hey, we're selling soccer balls on FIFA. But you own the assets. It's not on a server somewhere that can be deleted. It's like you can actually own this asset, and people will be none the wiser. They will just carry on playing it and carry on. All of a sudden, when the time comes, they'll be like, "Hey, these are actually NFTs. These are actually like you can trade these and sell for real money." Then people will be like, oh, I understand NFTs. Oh, I can actually play this game and make assets, create these assets, and
Abs-
no one else will have them. And there's no one that can come and take it from me. There's no one can delete it. There's no one can nerf me. It is what it is, and that's what the product is. And it's going to be a shift. And then once one studio does it, the next studio, the next studio, the next studio, and then all of a sudden, everyone's doing it, and it's just become this absolute mad frenzy.
Absolutely. I can see it already happening. It's like, for instance, using the FIFA example.
Yeah.
Imagine playing within your own community, yeah, where you could only one person could be one team at a time, yeah, and there would only be one tradable player. So let's say for Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah.
as to speak, right? There was only one of him in that world that you were playing within. If
Sure.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. So they would have an intrinsic value, right? So when they're actually put onto the transfer market, is there's actually a transfer market.
Yeah.
There's only one of them
Exactly.
in the community that you have to operate in. And obviously your first purchase, rather than actually buying a game, you buy into the game to buy your actual team. And then you have all these NFT players, which are then tradable for some form of token or somewhat, which then you can then transfer out
Exactly.
there afterwards,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's kind of how I see this going from a FIFA side of things. But and that's exactly how it's going to play out. I'm intrigued to see where the metaverse
Yeah.
go. You made the comment about Ready Player One,
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
And that's where I see the game shifting to in the long
100%.
run. But I just don't know how far out that is. What's your gut feeling from the metaverse, from real adoption from games?
See, to me, like the biggest problem right now is barrier to entry. One, everyone is mindlessly just following the ETH train. Again, this is my opinion though. Like, I'm not a big fan of ETH, and everyone's just following that train. And there's no way that you can have, example, let's say World of Warcraft as a basis, the first World of Warcraft. Using that as a basis, that game took the world by storm, and there was none like it at the time that was that awesome. A whole bunch of people all over the world can play the same game, change their character outfits, accessories, battle against each other. It was freaking amazing. Now, literally, once XRP is able to have the XLS20D to go live, the speed and the cheap fees of these transactions will enable a way for someone to create a game. Obviously, like, again, World of Warcraft has had a huge budget, so it really needs to come from the community and smaller dev teams to kind of put their heads together to produce smaller games that prove that the stuff works to get the interest of the bigger projects. And how far off we are away from like a Ready Player One or a World of Warcraft, this game that has all these assets flowing and moving in real time. Really, like, to me, if people put their heads down and actually work towards it, like within 5 years, we can be at that level. Augmented reality, virtual reality has shifted leaps and bounds over the last 5-6 years. And another 5-6 years is going to be way more accessible. It's going to be cheaper to produce. Hardware will be more advanced by then. The fact, let's try a thought now. The fact that, like, example, like the new MacBooks with the M1, M1 Pro, and M1 Max chips, those things can render out 3D objects and models in like real time and hella fast for what you're paying and what you're getting. And the fact that this is already happening now, in 5 years, that's going to just splash out the water. It's just going to advance and move things forward, which then enables creators who aren't big AAA game studios to be able to create such things. So at this point, it's like anyone's game. If there's enough people, enough passion to build a project from the entire community, I believe that they can do it. And we can create a metaverse, either be like a Half-Life, what's it called? Gone blank. World of Warcraft is say. It is possible. 5 years we can do it. It just depends on everyone's passion and grit to go and achieve this.
Absolutely. No, I'm in total agreement. You've alluded to that you don't really like Ethereum too much previously, right? I'm kind of like, it's slow, it's expensive. I use Ethereum based layer 2 projects because of DeFi. It's because the products that are within it are good. And they made, obviously, at the time, the decisions to build on Ethereum because I think at the time,
exactly. I get that.
They had right, and then we've got Avalanche, we've got Phantom, we've got lots of different projects that people can build on from a smart contract point of view. Cardano, now obviously XLSD 20 is now coming down the line. So there is competition to kind of take that market share away from Ethereum. But I'm going to tell you a story about my hate for Ethereum. So I'm participating within the DeFi ecosystem, and I'm making passive income. I love passive income. So I'm participating. I love making money when I sleep. What can I say? So have you heard of that website called Gas What the Fuck Feels? And I think the website is gaswtf.fees. I linked my wallet to that, and I nearly fell off of the chair when I saw how much I'd actually paid in transaction fees. I was like, what? That's like double my annual salary I've paid in gas fees. I'm like, that was when my hate for Ethereum started. So what about you? When was your hate for Ethereum started?
I don't hate anything. I just it's just more of an annoyance / just like so first I give thanks and praise to ETH for starting the smart contracts revolution and getting things going. All hats off to them. That's all great. But the fact that Vitalik has always kind of promised and alluded to all these updates and changes that are going to solve these problems, and nothing kind of gets done. And it's always like, but it's going to happen like this, and we're going to do this, and give us this much time, and it'll all be good and fix. And I actually met the guy in person, and just kind of arrogant. So this added to the fire for me. But it just seems odd that they've had they have capital, and all this time they haven't been able to solve the gas problem. And again, I get it takes time. I'm a developer myself. I know there's not like a quick fix and magically works, but by now something should have at least half the intensity that we have with the gas fee should have resolved, right? So everyone complains about it, and there's a big tribalism towards ETH, but no one. They're kind of it becomes like the Bitcoin maxis where nothing else matters but Bitcoin. Now the ETH is nothing. Another chain matters or smart contracts, or they want to hear anything. Even Solana, besides the fact that they've been down 4 times already, but they came along with a solution and faster and there was no what's the word? I'm losing my words today. There was no thanks or just looking into other projects and seeing how they are solving the solution instead of just ETH. That's the only way, and I'll keep paying my gas fees because that's the way it is. But that's not going to bring adoption. It's not going to bring people in from the mainstream. It's not going to bring utility at a large world scale, because the average person is going to pay $200 to go and send $2 asset. No one wants to go and pay again $200 to mint a $100 NFT that they can use, and it's a bit of a lack of a better word, shit show. So that's where my irritation comes from ETH and ETH maxis, is that instead of everyone just blindly following, why is it not more going in to just working together with other projects to find a solution that works and fits for everyone. Because at the end of the day, no blockchain is going to survive and become number one. There's going to be many, and it's better if everyone works together to produce the best possible product for the end user, which is the world. Maybe I'm just too much of a hopeful person when it comes to people collaborating and working together, but that's just me though.
No, well, a couple of points that you raise. Okay, let's talk about fees to begin with. So, from my point of view, it's been an issue on Ethereum for forever, as we're aware, right? And it gets worse as the network gets congested, right? And so for me, it's not scalable. Okay, but then I'm just thinking. The reason they've not adjusted the fees at the moment is because they don't really want to, because they know that they've got a lot of layer 2s built on Ethereum at the moment. So, and everybody's making money. Everybody's running to the bank on the Friday to pay in what they've made. So is it a purpose? Have they done it on purpose? Because surely you would have changed this by now. They've had enough time. They've known the issues. They've known the scalability issues, and it's going to hold it back. But it's like they just want to keep that printing money machine going as long as they can. That's from an outsider looking in. I don't know if that's true.
I mean, there's no way for us to really know, but I mean, there are only people that are kind of benefiting right now are the miners. And I mean, that's also not in the hands of the general public. That's these massive mining farms. Sure, you can plug in and try your hand at it, but you're going to be outplayed by these overlords. You're going to call them that.
Them.
So, it just seems like they don't really care right now because it's not affecting them. And as long as the miners are happy, they're happy because the miners keeping things are going and flowing. If the miners like, oh, stuff this shit, you guys aren't giving us money, they're going to just switch the machines off somewhere else and start mining freaking Dogecoin. I don't know if they call that mine Dogecoin, I'm joking, but yeah.
Yeah, but no, I get your point, and you made a point earlier on about the tribalism that currently exists within the cryptocurrency ecosystems, and I speak to a lot of people within the space. When I speak to companies, they're very collaborative. It's the communities I find are the issue, and we know that basically for there to be full adoption, we need cross-chain interoperability, right? That's going to win the game, So question to you, are you may not going to answer, I don't know the answer, but it's just like, it'll be a good conversation. So to break that barrier down from a tribalism point of view, how does that happen? How does that start? Is it education? Is it the cross-chain stuff? Or is it that the companies of the projects actually lead their communities to partner with other communities? I'm not sure how that could ever happen.
I mean, that's true. Tribalism, it's just no different than you supporting Liverpool or Manchester United, right? It's just that you're a fan of that, and that's what you love, and that's what you always want to be. But I mean, that is going in the sense of, I mean, Manchester and Liverpool are actually versing each other. They actually are competitors. Whereas it's a tribalism in the crypto space, that must be rooting from somewhere. Because if this example, I'm not bashing ETH or Solana or anything, I'm just using the examples. It's like, if ETH's like, no, we're the best, Solana is awful. And actually, no, I'll use ETH and XRP because Vitalik is very vocal about how much he doesn't like XRP. Now, that automatically tells your entire community, screw XRP in their community and what they believe and what they're trying to do, because I don't like them and I'm the head honcho here and we're doing great things. Don't talk to them. That kind of, in a psychological sense, tells the masses that are ETH bound, like, don't even look at XRP. It's a shitcoin. And that's where misinformation comes in. People don't want to do the research. People don't want to do the hard work and actually look into any project because they would rather be told by people that they admire or believe in that this is the right way to go. It's no different to how Elon Musk is like, Dogecoin is the way, and that just went to freaking Pluto because people believe in Elon Musk. Like literally, I had so much Dogecoin I sold just before it pumped to the freaking moon, and that's another one of my sad stories, man. It's all part of it, but yeah. So capitalism is only because of the leaders or like the public figures of projects. And if I to guarantee you, if Vitalik was like, I changed my mind, actually XRP is doing good stuff, the entire community will start looking into XRP and actually being like, oh, cool, you guys are doing some cool stuff. How can we do things together instead of, no, screw you guys. So I really do believe it's both in the sense of people's willingness to blindly follow and the fact that the hedge honchos are feeding their audience misinformation or tribalism tendencies kind of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you made a point about you met Vitalik previously, right? Talk to me about how that happened and talk to us about that moment and how you felt walking away from the conversation.
Cool. So
with Vitalik.
It was in Europe. As I got introduced from a friend, and I just started chatting to him like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" And he didn't even look at me. He was just on his laptop. He's like, "Yeah, hi, cool," and just tried to just make conversation. Like it's all I really wanted. And yeah, it was just like he was completely off-putting and barely even responded. Then I came back later, just to try again. Maybe I thought maybe he's busy, maybe he's having a bad day, I don't know. Same kind of vibe. Then I asked him the age-old question. I was like, so if you, as a joke, but I was like, what would you buy? Litecoin or XRP? Charlie Sheen's already Charlie Lee had already sold all his Litecoin. And I mean, the project's literally just hanging in limbo without the leader even invested in the project. So I'm like, what would you rather buy? And he says he'd rather buy Litecoin. XRP is trash. I don't like the marketing. And I'm like, dude, you don't like the marketing. That's why you don't actually like you smashing in public all the time. But anyway, yeah, he's a bit of a interesting character. Like, not hard feelings towards the dude, but yeah, I mean, just talk to people that come to talk to you, dudes. I mean, we're all human. You're not higher or mightier than anyone else, really.
No, absolutely. And we're going to go back to the football analogy here, yeah, which we've used a couple of times during this podcast, right? So it's almost like you've got your favourite footballer, right? You go to a football match, you see him coming out, you've got your shirt with your Sharpie and you want him to sign it, and basically he just blanks you and walks past. And basically you go away heartbroken away from the stadium because your superstar is basically an arrogant prick. That's how I can capture this. Your meeting with Vitalik. And unfortunately, that's a world. Unfortunately, because some people do think they're playing on a higher field than other people, where realistically they're no better than anybody else, and everybody comes from a humbling start, right? Because we're all born in the same world at the same time, 100%. And given the same opportunities, right? But some people have different roads to others. No, that's great. And I'm glad. I'm enjoying the chat. So let's talk. What do we talk about next? So let's flip back to Monkee Monkee now, yeah? So in terms of, right, okay, cool. I want to buy one of these NFTs. Talk to me. As a consumer, how do I go about getting hold of one?
Again, so the XRP Ledger community has been very, very different to what we've done before on ETH and Sol. And I mean, the fact that these Promise IOU tokens are in the mix is also very wild. So right now, you can buy from the DEX, either from onXRP or Soto. We aren't selling any tokens directly to the public. We did a very small pre-sale 2 weeks ago. Only sold a small amount of tokens just to kind of help us push through the next few months. But those tokens that are in circulation are the ones we airdrop for free to the community. So you'll be buying directly from the community. We're not going to get any funds from that. So you're welcome to grab a token. Once you have a token, just hold on to that bad boy until we finally get the beautiful switch of 20D to go live. And then, so we're also going to be building something we call the Monkee machine, which will enable someone to deposit that token into the machine, and they'll get a random Monkee Monkee NFT sent back to them into the wallet. We're still developing that out. It hasn't been completed just yet, but that is on our roadmap of things to do. And the remaining tokens that we have will be sold just for XRP directly. So if anyone wants to buy and help support the Monkee Monkee project, once 20D goes live, you can buy those Monkee NFTs directly from us. Also, they'll be random, so no one can go and just pick the one they want, buy the rarest ones. It'll be like a gumball machine, if you can think of it like that. Just kind of turn the crank and you'll get a random one sent to you, which is fair distribution, in our opinion, towards everyone. Yeah.
Absolutely, I love it. And is that your funding model then? By selling the NFTs once you're
so that'll be the first bit of funding that we'll use to kind of progress and move forward with the entire project. Even if we don't raise enough, we will use what we can. I'll eat ramen for the rest of my life if I have to. Totally chilled. If we really do need more capital, I do have access to VCs and the like, so I'm not too concerned about funding for the project. It is just obviously nicer to have the community involved directly, and everyone be part of the entire project. And obviously, the more monkeys in circulation, the more access people have to playing the more cooler abilities and showing off what kind of monkeys they have.
Wow, that's great. And
Likewise,
you know
Thank
what? I've really enjoyed our chat today. I think I found out a little bit about you. I picked up the accent early on, where that's from. You're clearly a football fan. So who do you support?
I think I'm losing my followers now. Oof, Manchester.
Come on, who do you support? And,
of course.
You're a United supporter.
And you? There we go. See, that's why we have a good chat here, because we're on the same page.
Absolutely. How about that, eh? Oh, that's brilliant. That's made my day, that is. But the thing is, my first game, which I went to see Manchester United play, was when I was a child, the 1990 FA Cup final, where we played Crystal Palace and won in extra time in the replay. And that was a great day out. And unfortunately, my son comes home from school, and he's unfortunately not been born into a great side, obviously because we haven't done that well over the forthcoming years. And he come home and he said, "Dad, why do I have to support Manchester United?" And I was saying, "Son, well, kind of in the UK, in English, it's all about heritage, and you get born into a club, you have to support your father's team, and then your grandfather's team. It gets passed down the generation. So unfortunately, mate, you've had a bad deal lately, but I'm hoping it'll turn out well for you in the long run, right?" But no, what a lovely thing to finish on today. Man. But no, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you, and I hope to talk to you guys again in the future. And I'm interested to hear where you go in the gaming industry as well. My eyes are locked on you, and I'm gonna be watching very closely as a keen follower and supporter as well. So thank you for your time today, and I'm sure we'll speak again shortly. So onXRP community, what a project, what a lovely guy, and I'm excited to see what these guys bring. So for this episode, we are over and out, but I'm sure we will see you again shortly. Thanks again, guys. Bye.